So hello all, welcome to Strivers Academy. So what we are going to discuss today is the fundamentals of macroeconomy, right? And this is the very first lecture. So from here we will be starting our basics of economy, right? Now, what we will be doing in this lecture is introduction, economic organization, that is three problems, then economic systems, four sectors of economy, and types of goods and circular flow of goods. So this is all we will be discussing in this lecture, and this will be a series of lecture in order to understand the economic concepts very well, right? Okay, so what is economics? The very first question comes, why are we studying this economics? So economics is the study of how scarce resources can be used and in order to produce and distribute the goods and services in the economy, right? As we all know that every resource, be it land or capital, so every resource is limited, right? So how to use this limited resource in order to get the maximum out of it, maximum output out of it, right? So we need to gain the maximum utilization, maximum value out of the limited resources. And what are different measures that we can take in order to maximize the output? This is the study of economics, right? This is the area of economics. So what on a minute level, how we can understand the economics? Think about the home kitchen. So in a kitchen there is a limited rice, limited vegetables, and limited gas, etc. So every family member, suppose, wants different dishes. Then you have to decide how much rice you have, so that which demand can be met or which demand cannot be met, and what to cook in order to make the demand of every member of the family to be met, right? How much to cook and who gets what and how much. That is what is needed to be defined, right? So this is a smaller economic model. Now suppose at the national level, how the things works. At national level we have land, labor, capital, and money, right? So everything is limited that needs to be used wisely, right? And we have to balance the needs and luxury. So some of the people may be poor, whose needs will be very high, right? And other people may be rich, but what they demand the utilization of resources for their luxury needs, not the basic needs. Then at the national level, government or any other person has to decide that what needs to be produced, whether we should cater to the needs or to luxury, right? And how to provide for the present versus future. So we have to ensure the intergenerational equity also. So this is all that is being the area of economics, right? I hope you understand it. Now in order to understand it much better, suppose take the case of the Japan. It has very few natural resources, its area is very less, and also it is there are every year there are many natural disasters which takes place on the near about on the land of the Japan or near about it, but still it has very high per capita income, right? And also Europe and North America, same thing, high income, and they have high living standards. But take the example of Africa and Latin America, they have high resources, right? Africa is also known as minerals graveyard of the minerals, but still they are poor. So that's what makes the understanding of economics very important. The resources are not being utilized properly. What are different reasons for it? Rich countries use their land, labor, capital efficiently. That's why their per capita income increases. But poor countries fail to manage the resources efficiently. They are not able to use their resources. Latin America and Africa, etc., they have abundant of resources, but they are not utilizing them. Even if they are utilizing them, they are not utilizing it efficiently. So economics deal with this concept of utilization of resources very efficiently, okay, in an efficient manner. Now There are two major subfields of economics, that is microeconomics and macroeconomics. Micro is, as the word suggests, on a very smaller level. Okay, it at a micro level. Example, why do you buy onions instead of tomatoes when price rises? So here, focus is on the decisions of individuals and businesses. That is the main thing that differentiates the microeconomics with macroeconomics. The decision makers are individuals in a society or the businesses in a society. What this microeconomics studies? It studies the allocation of resources and pricing of the goods. What mix of products individuals buy with limited money? Okay, what are the different decisions that individual will take when the resources becomes scarce or price increases or falls? How companies can maximize the production and efficiency? So it may be related to either individual or companies or businesses, like, right? So this is what microeconomics deals about. The goal of microeconomics is to lower the cost, increase the efficiency, and increase the competitiveness of the goods, right? So this is all is microeconomics. Suppose a company is there which is producing a product A, right? Then it has to decide that this product needs to be catering to, suppose, a society. So how to better make this product so that this caters to the need of the society, right? So it will increase the surveys, it will increase the efficiency, it will reduce the cost of the product. Then this decisions will be taken by this company only, company A only. This is the microeconomics. Now coming to the macroeconomics. Macro is, as the word suggests, macro, on a very large level. So it focuses on national economy as a whole, right? What it studies, it studies the investments, consumption in the economy, central bank's role in the interest rate, supply of money, what are the causes of international financial crisis, impact of exports on national accounts, export import, everything that is on a macro level, on a national level. That is what is focused on by this macroeconomics, right? So different variables are used by these macroeconomic agents in order to arrive at a decision. It may be like GDP, unemployment rate, interest rate, price levels, etc. So when the unemployment rate falls, right, or unemployment rate increases, then government takes some measures in order to boost the employment in an economy. That is what are the indicators. These indicators suggest the government to take some agent, some decisions, right? This is all about macroeconomics. I hope you understand. Otherwise, what I have done is I have presented it in a tabular format also. Focus of microeconomics on individual and businesses. They are the economic agents. They are the decision makers, right? While in macroeconomics, national economy is focused, and here the national government will be the decision maker, right? What are different concerns that are taken up in microeconomics? Resources, how they will be allocated, what are the different pricing, should we decrease the price, should we increase the price, etc. Okay, and what to produce and what not to produce. When we talk about the macroeconomics, overall economic performance of an economy and its stability is focused upon. What the microeconomics studies, studies the what products needs to be prepared, right, and how much the costing of the products should be taken up so that production can be maximized and efficiency can be achieved. Now when we talk about the macroeconomics, it talks about total investment, consumption, money supply, financial crisis, and impact of exports and imports. Now what is the goal of microeconomics? It is to lower the cost for the individuals, to increase the efficiency and competition. While in the macroeconomics, the growth, stability, and reducing unemployment rate is the major focus of the government, of the national body, right? Different variables that are used: prices, production, and competition, etc. These are the variables that are used in order to achieve or try to take a decision. While in macroeconomics, GDP, unemployment rate, and inflation, etc., these are the rates that are used by the economic agents in order to arrive at a decision, right? So for UPSC exam that we are concerned with, we will be using only macroeconomics. Microeconomics is not of the much value to us, right? But in order to understand what is the microeconomics that we have covered, right? Now coming to this macroeconomics. Now further lecture will be about macroeconomics only. So economic organization, the three fundamental problems. So every economy, every nation, every society, etc., faces three basic questions. What are the different three questions that are the fundamental of this economics? What to produce? Okay, be it a company or a business, or be it a government. Every decision maker faces the same issue: what to produce, which goods or services needs to be produced, and in what quantity. Should we go for pizza or shirt? Should we go for the reducing the hunger of the people, or should we go for the luxurious items? Should we go for high quality items, or should we produce cheap items in a very large quantity? So should we prefer consumption goods? Should we focus on the consumption, or should we focus on capital goods? So these are the some choices that are need to be made by the either government or the businesses, right? So there is a trade-off, inherent trade-off between current consumption and future production. If the consumption is to be increased, then future production may decrease, right? So we will come to this concept later. Okay, so the next question that every nation or society asks to itself is how to produce. What are the different techniques that needs to be taken in order to produce some goods? Who produces? With what resources that the products produced should be produced, and with what techniques should it be produced? And here the choices are: should a person go for farming or teaching roles? Should the energy come from oil, coal, or solar? Should the factories be run by humans or robots? Right? So who produces? If a nation is with high human labor, so it will try to go for human made products. Okay, as consider the case of India. It wants to increase the production of footwear industry, okay, or textile industry for that sense, because in these industries what actually happens is need of human labor is more, so jobs creation is very high. Now suppose take the case of the Japan, or or any other advanced economy for that sense. They will be less in human, okay, human labor will be low in all those nations. So what they will be trying to do is they will be going for capital intensive sectors, right? They will be going for robots in order to produce their goods. So this is what is needs to be taken care of, that is needs to be decided. Efficiency and sustainability are main focus of the production. Okay, the next or the very last question in this economics is for whom to produce. Who are the targets? Who receives the output? Here, what are different concerns? Distribution of income and wealth, because wealth and income is not uniformly distributed. So if a person is poor, then lower price goods should be made for that person. If a person is rich, then he may afford luxury. He will want that price should be higher, right? So that is what is the target audience. Who is the target audience, right? There is a high gap between rich and poor, rewarding teachers, athletes, workers, or capitalists. There is an inherent choice to be made. Should we go with the welfare of athletes, teachers who are workers, okay, who are working very hard, or should we reward capitalists by decreasing the taxes so that economic production can increase? Right? So these are the some of the questions that needs to be answered by every society or economy. Okay, so in a nutshell, what are these questions? What to produce, which goods services to be should be made, and how much in the quantity? Like, should India produce more rice or cars? Okay, so should we focus on consumption or investment? This is what is the basic meaning of this example. How to produce? Who will be producing? Okay, the method should be labor intensive or machine intensive. Should we go for handloom or textile mills? For whom to produce? What is the target audience? Whether they are rich, poor, or affluent people. Should electricity be cheap for farmers or priced for industries? Right? So these are the some of the decisions that needs to be taken by the economy. This is the core of economy. These questions are the core of economy, and we have to choose wisely. Okay, any decision maker. Okay, and here I should tell you, whether in microeconomics or macroeconomics, whoever is deciding should decide on the basis of these three questions only. Right? Now, moving to the next is types of economic system. What are different type of economic systems? So there are basically three types of economic systems: capitalist, that is market oriented; socialist, that is command, that is the state led model; and mixed economy. So in capitalist, consumers and firms decide what to produce. So if consumers are rich, then they want luxurious product, right? Luxurious products. So companies will be more inclined to produce luxurious products because the consumers are demanding that only. Features are profit motive is there in the capitalist. Profit is very high, and free market remains free, and private ownership is very high. You can take the example of USA and UK. Okay, now opposite is the case of the socialist or state-led model, which was followed in USSR, Cuba, and even North Korea today. The decision maker here is the government. Government decide everything. Here the central planning is there. Equity is the goal. Goal is there that every section of society should come to on a equal platform. So industries remain state owned. Okay, private ownership is not given at all. But in between these two between these two systems is the mixed economy, which is followed by India today also. So both government as well as market decides. So government decides for the poor section of society. Okay, so poor section of society, so that because in the capitalist market there is inherent problem that it caters to the rich and ignores the poor. Poor gets ignored. So in mixed economy, government decides for the poor people of the economy. So government controls key sectors of economy which can cater to the needs of the poor. Right? And while the other, that is market, in the market, private firms also exist, and private firms can cater to the needs of the rich class. Right? So this is the different type of methods or different type of economic systems that are currently existing in the world, right? So India has chosen the mixed system because pure capitalism can create inequality that I was talking about, while pure socialism can kill efficiency. So there's inherent problems with both the systems, the capitalist and the socialist. So we choose to be a mix of both. Okay, now there are four sectors of economy. In every economic system, there are four sectors. Households, that is the consumers. Okay, they provide labor, land, money, and buy the goods. Right? So there will be households. Suppose this is a household. So people will be living here. So they will be providing their labor, right? They will be providing the land. They will be providing money. They will be buying the goods, right? Other sector will be the private firms. That is business sector. which will be making the goods and services. Suppose this is a factory. Okay, so this factory will be making goods. Another different sector will be government sector, private sector. Now government will be very important because this will be controlling both the sectors. Both these sectors will be controlled by the government, and it will be providing basic infrastructure, education, health, defense, etc. Basic needs of the people will be covered by this government. Now fourth sector will be the external sector, that is rest of the world, that is outside this, right? If this is the government, then outside the boundaries of the nation, external sector will be there. So four sectors remains very important in any economy of the world. Okay, every economic activity takes place between these four sectors only. Okay, how it takes place we will be discussing in the further lectures. Okay, now what are different factors of production? Okay, there are four factors of the production, right? You may have heard about these, like one factor is the land, another is the labor, third is the capital, and fourth is the entrepreneur. So every factor is important so that an economic model can take place, right? If there is a land, it is the natural resource. It will be earning rent. Any individual who takes land, he will be giving rent. Either he may have rented it, or he may have like owned it. When he will be owning, then he will be giving some money to the another owner, right? Example: coal mine, farmland, etc. Labor is another important factor for an economic system to take place. Human effort is there. They will be taking wages, like teacher, driver, software engineer, etc. Capital or money, right? So money will be earning interest on it, right? Suppose tractor, machinery is there, computer is there, so interest will be on it. You can take it you can take the capital also, capital in the sense that rupees or dollar, etc. They will be earning interest also. Okay, further capital goods can be bought by using this. So the fourth system, the very important factor will be entrepreneur. Entrepreneur organizes and takes the risk, but he takes profit. Like a startup founder, any startup founder or any person who installs the company, right? So everyone, so that is entrepreneur. Without this entrepreneur, land will be there, capital will be there, labor will be there, but they will be sitting idle. This person takes the risk and starts an economic system. That's why the role of the entrepreneur becomes very important, right? So an entrepreneur takes the profit, capital takes the interest, natural resources earns the rent, and labor earns the wages. Okay, if suppose there is Ola cabs, then land is the office space, labor is the drivers, those who drive the Ola cab, and capital is the app, cars, etc. They remain the capital of the Ola cabs, and entrepreneur is the founders. Now coming to the next part, we have different types of goods that are produced in an economy, right? So by stage of use, so goods can be intermediate goods which are used that is half finished, used to make something else, right? They are consumed in order to make something else. So suppose cotton is there. Cotton is an intermediate good which gets consumed in order to produce cloth. Steel gets consumed in order to produce car. So steel is a intermediate good. Final goods are the goods that are consumed or used by those who buy them. Okay, they are utilized, they are consumed. Okay, suppose t-shirt is there, car is there, or bread is there. Okay, car is used for own good, right? Now by purpose, goods can be classified: consumption goods, those which can be consumed; right? They are directly consumed or used by the people. Food, clothes, TV, healthcare, etc. These are the consumption goods. Capital goods are the goods which are used in order to produce some consumption goods. Okay, they can be used to produce other goods, like tractor is there, machine, factory is there. So these are the capital goods. Same good can be both. Okay, suppose bike is there or a motorcycle is there, which can be used for personal use also. This becomes consumption goods. And if a bike is being used for delivery of the food or delivery of the parcels, etc., then this becomes a capital good, right? So same good can be acting as capital as well as consumption good. Now coming to the next topic, investments. So in economics, investment is making machines, factories, infrastructure, etc. So when machines, factories, infrastructure, etc. is built up, okay, that is what is investment is going on in the economy. So you can consider it like planting a mango tree today. So because when we will planting this mango tree, we'll be sacrificing the fruit, right? This mango can be used. Suppose this is a mango. This is mango. This mango can be eaten by a family member, but no, this mango is not used, but it is used as a seed to produce for growing a tree. And this tree will be giving seeds tomorrow, or maybe a year or 2 year later. That will be giving mangoes in a very large quantity. So that is what is it? What is the meaning of investment? So this example has been given with the use of the mango, but we can take it with the example of capital. Okay, so some of the capital of the government is used in order to invest in the economy. So this investment today gives the return tomorrow, increases the tax base of the government tomorrow, right? Increases the earning of the government or maybe the individual tomorrow. So this is what is investment. So there are some types of investment: gross fixed capital formation, change in the stock and valuables. So suppose here gross fixed capital is there. So fixed, it will remain fixed. Factories, roads, etc. they will be fixed capital formation. Stocks will change because any company or any factory which is producing some goods, it will be storing in a stock. Everything will not be sold out. So some of the things will be stocked. If the stock is decreasing, then this is called investment. Okay, investment, because stocks are increasing. So this is the investment. This can be sold tomorrow and money can be taken out, right? Valuables are also there, like gold and silver. Investments are made in the gold and silver, etc., in order to hold them so that they can be sold tomorrow, right? So these are the investments. So another thing that is very important that you needs to be remembering is that gross capital formation. What is this gross capital formation? So capital formation will be fixed capital formation. First is the fixed capital. Fixed capital may be machinery, equipment, construction, intellectual property, etc. This is fixed capital plus valuable materials like gold, silver, etc., plus change in the stock. Everything when you will be adding, then we arrive at the capital formation. So you may have heard the news or in the news or in any other media channel, etc., that capital formation is going on in India. So capital formation takes into account all these three things. Okay, India's investment rate is approximately 30% of the GDP, while China's it is approximately 40% of GDP. That is why China is growing faster. The more the investment, more will be, as you have already understood by this explanation, that if the investment in the machinery and factories, etc., will be higher today, then it will be beneficial for the growth tomorrow, because they will be giving much of the taxes, etc. Okay, growth tomorrow. Okay, now when we are talking about the investment, what is the level of investment in India? In India, since 2014, investment in 2014, you should remember that it was approximately 30% of the GDP. Now, from that 2000 till 2017, it decreased to 28%, then it increased to 29%, and again it decreased to 27%, and currently approximately 29-30%, etc., is again the investment rate of India as a percent of GDP. Right? You should remember it, okay? Because it becomes important to give this data in the mains, right? It may not be useful in prelims, but in mains it becomes very important. Circular flow of income, that is the next topic. So income doesn't remain constant. Income or the money keeps flowing. Okay, it keeps flowing in the economy from one place to another, right? So goods and money keeps on moving between the goods and firms. Economic households provide labor, capital, etc. Firms pay wages, rent, profit, etc. to the people. So when they will be paying wages, rent, and profit, etc., money will be flowing from firms to households. Households, if they will be providing labor, land, etc., households will be getting the rent, wages, etc. from the factories. Household then will spend on the goods. Household will be buying the goods, then they will be paying to the firms, okay, for the goods. And firm supply goods. So everything keeps on moving. Goods and money keeps on moving from one sector to another, household to firms, etc. So money and goods keep circulating like water vapors. Okay, so how this circular system works? Okay, it is very important concept. You should understand very deeply and resiliently to it, right? Let's understand this through example. So suppose there is no government or no external sector in an economy, because there are four sectors in the economy, no, that we have already talked about: government, external sector, then this will be household and factories. Okay. So only private factories and household is there. Suppose there is no government and external sector. Suppose, right? So case one, let's take there is no saving. Let's take case one, that there is no saving in an economy. So what are the services? Household provide entrepreneurship, labor, capital, and natural resources to the firms. Yes, and payments are made by the firms. Suppose 100 rupees, 100 is the firms that is produced, right? It is, let's suppose this is the firm and this is the household, and suppose 100 rupees is being distributed by the firm. How? Profit is being earned, 40 rupees profit is there. Wages are being given 10 rupees. Rent is being given by the rent is also given to the households 20 rupees, and interest is also given to the households on the capital, that is 30 rupees. So everything is moving, 100 rupees is moving to households. Firms are spending 100 rupees and 100 more rupees is moving to the households. Clear? Now, consumption expenditure, household and spend entire 100 rupees to buy goods. Now firms, they must be producing goods using this value, and this 100 rupees goods that has been produced will be bought by this household. Then this household that has earned this 100 rupees will be giving this 100 rupees to the firms and getting this 100 rupees. Okay, so in this whole scenario, right, in this whole scenario, goods and services are being produced and firms are supplying 100 rupees of worth to the household. This is the circular flow, right? Firms are making the payments to the households are buying goods and again paying back to the firms. This is how circular flow is working, right? You should understand one thing, that 100 rupees goods are being produced, that's why GDP of this economy is 100. But is this 100 rupees economy going to increase? How it is going to increase? Because firms are selling the goods of 100 rupees and they are paying the same 100 rupees to the households. They don't have the capital. no capital to invest, right? They don't have the extra capital to invest. So GDP of this economy, this type of economy will not increase, right? Rupees 100 will be the GDP of the economy. GDP can be measured in three measures. These are the different measures of measuring the GDP. We will be taking them in the next lecture, right? Next lecture. Okay. Now take the case second, case number 2, with savings in the economy. Okay. Again, let's take the same example. There are firms, and suppose there are households. Household earn rupees 100 by consumption 100 rupees and save rupees. Okay, so firms are supplying goods of rupees 170 to this households. So firms are getting 70 rupees from households. Households are getting 100 rupees, right, as wage, as capital, okay, as a rent, etc. So these households are spending only 70 this time. 70 rupees are invested for goods, buying the goods. Rest 30 rupees are saved in the banks. What this bank will do? This bank will again lend this 30 rupees to the firms. Okay, lending. And this 30 rupees will be used by the firm for increasing the capital investment. Capital investment, right? Now, firm produce 70 rupees of the consumption goods and 30 rupees of worth of capital goods. So again, capital investment, then this 30 rupees is also being invested by the firm, right? So this 30 rupees saving that has been deposited in banks will be borrowed by the other firms, and capital goods investment will increase. So this 30 rupees will be increasing the capital investment, and this capital investment will be increasing the supply of goods in next year or maybe in future. And this will be increasing this will be the investment, this is the capital investment that will be increasing the economy, increase GDP next year or in future. So this is how savings will be important for an economy. So savings in equal to investment in capital goods. Whatever the 30 rupees that has been saved by this household have been used by the firms in order to increase the capital or to invest capital investment, and this capital investment will be good for the economy in the future. So what we understand through this example is that more savings will be there by the households, more capital goods will be produced, and higher future production and growth will be there. So growth and GDP will keep on increasing in the future also. So that's why savings of households are also important, and hence you may be getting from the media or by reading the newspaper or etc. that savings rate in India, savings rate is lower, right? So this is what is important for your exam. So savings rate leads to higher production in the near future. Implications of this savings rate on the growth: if households save more, then production of capital goods will be increasing very fast, and this will leading to higher growth in the long run. At independence, India produced only 95% of the goods. That is, 95% of the goods were for consumption only. Only 5% were the capital goods. That means savings were only 5%. 5% savings, which were increasing the capital expenditure. So that's why our growth in the initial years were very low. By 2019-2020, the savings rate has increased to 28%, approximately 28% of the GDP, and today we are investing in consumption to the tune of 72% and 28% in the capital goods. That is why this capital goods, this savings rate is propelling the economy, propelling the GDP of India at very fast rate. If we compare with the China, China has consistently produced or saved more than 70% of the capital. Okay, savings rate was 40% in China, and that is what led to the rapid growth in China, and it pulled the poor people out of the poverty. Okay, okay. So this was all about in lecture 1. Okay. Now tomorrow we will start with lecture 2.